Good morning. Today we're going to be working on lesson 14, topic 4. It starts on page 765. So if you'll look in your math packet and find this page, we'll be ready to go. If you need to run grab that, just pause the video, and when you come back, start it and you'll be right here with us. Okay. So the lesson today is composing 2D shapes. And when we compose something, it's kind of like a songwriter. They compose a song. So you're making something. So we're going to take some shapes like these, and you have the ones that you cut out that you might have used yesterday. If you didn't cut those out, you will need them today. So you may want to pause the video and grab that piece of paper out of your bag and cut those shapes out because you will need them today. Okay, so we're going to use some shapes such as these that I have here, and we are going to make new shapes using multiple different shapes. Okay, so it says in your directions you're going to use a trapezoid, which looks like this, a diamond. Okay, so it can be turned this way or like this, and a triangle. Okay, now you'll need more than one of each one of those to do this lesson with, but those are the three shapes on this first page that we're going to be using. Okay, so it says to use a trapezoid, diamond, and triangle to make this new shape. Okay, so we're going to show three different ways and write how many of each shape you used in the chart. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull my easel a little bit closer so that you all can see the details. And let me pick this up. Okay, I think if I put it right here, we're going to be good. Okay, so in order to figure out how many of these and these or these I need to make this, you're going to need to make sure that when you cut your shapes out, you cut them very precisely. Okay, and I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to kind of manipulate it. That means I'm going to move it around and see, okay, if I put this one right there, okay, that lines up. Well, what other shape do I need to fill in that spot? Okay, so that looks like, remember yesterday we talked about a three-sided shape. That's a triangle. So if I take my triangle and I put the flat side up and I put it beside my trapezoid, I've made this new shape. Okay, so then what you're going to do is, let me grab a marker that's not a dry erase marker real quick. Sorry about that. You're going to look at your paper and ask yourself, how many trapezoids did I use to make this new shape? Okay, so I used one trapezoid, so I'm going to put a 1 here. And how many triangles did I use? 1. So I'll put a 1 under my triangle. Did I use any diamonds? No. So I will put a 0 in that spot. Okay, so now I'm not going to use a trapezoid and a triangle together to make this one. I've already done it that way one time. I can only use this combination one time. Okay, so I'm going to try, this time I'm going to try a diamond. Okay, so if I put a diamond in here and fill in that shape, oops, this second row, sorry about that. Put a diamond in here and fill in that shape. What do I have left? Looks like I have another diamond shape there. So if I take another diamond and I line it up, okay, did I make that same new shape again? Yes. So how many red trapezoids did I use? 0. How many blue diamonds did I use? 1, 2. So I'll put a 2 here. How many green triangles? 0. All right. So I've got one more to make. This time, let's see, my first time I started with a red trapezoid. My next time I started with a blue diamond. So this time I'm going to start with a green triangle. So if I put my triangle here, okay. Now, you can see this shape right here, okay. That's this one. So if I put that there, Did it fill in that shape? It does, but we've already used one triangle and one trapezoid. So we're going to try to do it with something different, okay? Let's try a blue diamond. Okay, I can put that there. I still have one more spot to fill in, and that looks like to me that a green triangle would go in there, and it makes that new shape again, okay? So now I'm going to take my marker. I used these shapes, okay? I did not use a red trapezoid, so I'll put a 0 there, okay? Did I use a blue diamond? How many? Just one. Okay, and then green triangles, I used 2. So I'll put my 2 there. So I used a triangle, a trapezoid, and a diamond to make this new rectangle shape here. Okay. All right, so what we're going to be doing, our I can statement says that I can put shapes together to make another one, and that's what we just did. We're going to lift up, turn to the back. Now my marker kind of bled through a little bit, so you may see those marks from the other side, but just overlook that. Okay, so let's look at our first green box. He says use smaller, I think yesterday we started calling him Andy, so Andy says use smaller shapes to make a larger shape. Okay, now this is the one shape that they use in the lesson that I do not have, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, if I just show you the end, it looks like a flat 2D plane figure, just like what we're talking about. Okay, so you on your paper you see that yellow one. Okay, so we're going to use these 2 smaller shapes to make this one yellow one. And yesterday we talked about this shape and we said it was a, who remembers, it's a 6-sided figure. It is a hexagon. We talked about hex means 1. Okay, so it says to trace the larger shape. So if I put this shape up here, now I don't really want to trace it with my marker and touch it, so I'm going to be careful, and I'm just going to draw this shape. Okay, if I put this shape up here, I'm just going to try to draw it. Oh no, big goof. Miss Kim just wrote on the board with a marker that was not a dry erase marker. You don't want to do that. Luckily that came off. Okay, let's use an Expo marker. So you're going to trace that shape on the paper, and I'm just going to draw it. Okay, so 6 sides. They're all about the same length. Okay, there's my hexagon. Okay, now he has 2 of these red ones. Okay, so if I put, if I had drawn my shape the exact same size, and I may be able to go back and do that. It's a little tedious. Hang on, let me erase the outside parts. It's not so chunky. All right, so we've got that hexagon shape. This is why I say I didn't want to trace with my shapes, but I did it anyway. Maybe it'll wash off. Okay, so I've got that traced on my paper, which is what step 2 says. It says then use smaller shapes to cover the tracing. So if I put this one here and I put that one there, I made that same shape again. Okay, it's hard for you to see with my fingers on top. There you go. I made that same shape again. Okay, and then it says to trace the smaller shapes. So I could trace around them again, and what I would have to do here in the middle is to trace that. Now you'll trace yours. I'm not going to write, try not to write on my tools. And you can see that you have 2 trapezoids. One is turned this way and one is turned this way, but when you put them together, they make a hexagon shape like that. okay, which looks just like this, just this one's bigger, okay? All right. So let's practice. All right. It says, how can you make a large shape using smaller shapes? Well, we just did that. Okay, you can trace the shape of a large item, and then you can try to see how many. I could even make this with this if they were the same size, and they may be. Let's see. We'll be close to it. Watch this. Okay, so I've got my, oh, I'm not going to have enough green ones. If I did, oh, I'm going to be one short. You'll still be able to kind of see, even with that one missing. If I had one more green triangle in my bag to fill in that blue space right there, you could see that I could make a hexagon with 6 green triangles, okay? So I can trace in order to be able to make large shape or make large shapes using smaller ones. I just put them, kind of connect their sides together. Look at here. If I put 2 green triangles together, what did that make? Diamond, okay? Could I put these together and make this? No. The shapes that you use to make other shapes have to have some similar attributes, like straight sides or curved sides and things of that sort. Okay, so let's look at your guided practice. We aren't going to do this one together. I'll go over the first part, but you're going to do way 2 on your own. Okay, so we'll do part of it together, but not all of it. It says to complete the chart, ways to make the large triangle. And I have a large, I have a large triangle here. Hang on, Kylie's pushing the microwave buttons. That's what that beeping is that you hear. Okay, so I have a large triangle button here, or shape. And I'm going to use smaller shapes like diamonds and small triangles to make it, okay? So if I use, they're saying 0 diamonds, okay? They didn't use any diamonds, but they're using 4 of these. So let's see, if I put 1 here, I hope I can hold all of these up here. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Let me see if I can hold them from the bottom. You can see that I used 4 small green triangles to make that one large triangle right there. Okay, so you're going to come up with way number 2. You can't use 4 green triangles again because we just did that and going over the example that they did for you. So this time you're either going to have to use diamonds or diamonds and triangles, okay? All right, let's look at what you're going to do today. Do that one. Your paper will be laying down flat so you can have somebody check. Did you make that triangle? Did yours fit inside of that one just like that, same size? Have someone check it before you go on and count how many diamonds you use and how many triangles you use, and write the number of diamonds here, the number of triangles here. Okay, let's look at the page that you're going to do for your assignment today. It says to use smaller shapes to make larger shapes, okay? Number 2 says to complete the chart to show a list of ways you can make the hexagon. Use pattern blocks to help you. So you will have to have those little shapes that I gave you. Unless you have some of these at home that you can use, you're going to have to use the paper ones that I gave you. And you're going to use the trapezoid, the diamond, and the triangle, just like we did on this very first page. Just like we did to make the triangle, we use the diamond and the triangle. On this one, to make the hexagon, you're going to use the trapezoid, the diamond, and the triangle. You have to make it 3 different ways. You can't have the same number of trapezoids and the same number of triangles on 2 lines that you made that hexagon with. Okay, you have to do 3 different ways, just like we did here. Okay, oops, here. Okay, we didn't do any of the 2 ways exactly the same. So all 3 of your ways have to be different. Okay, number 3, you don't have this shape in your bag. You'll just have to draw, okay? It's a part of a circle, and I think you can look at that circle and see how many of these it would take to make it. And that's what you're going to do right here. You're going to draw these quarter circles in this space to make that circle, okay? Number 4, it says to use 3 pattern blocks to make a new shape. Trace the pattern blocks. What shapes did you use? What shape did you make? Okay, so you have to write words over here. You're going to do your tracing over here. You're going to use 3 pattern blocks to make a shape. You're going to build it over here, trace it. Make sure you don't just trace the outside of it. Here, when I traced my 2 red ones, I had to trace each one of them. So you can see there's 2 pieces there. If you just trace the outside, it would look just like a circle, okay, or a square, or whatever shape you were trying to make. And you have to use 3 pieces, okay? So you're going to, when you make your shape over here, write the name of it under it, and then on these lines, you're going to tell me what shapes you used, okay? Now we're going to flip to the back. You're going to take a picture of that and upload it to the first blank page, please. Again, don't put both of your pictures on the same page. On your side, it looks very easy to read, but on my side, when I try to pull it up, it's very hard, okay? So this will go on your first blank page, and this will go on your second blank page. All right, the directions for number 5 and 6 say to use smaller shapes to make bigger shapes. It's the same thing, okay? It says, number 5, make sense. 2 of which shapes can make a circle, okay? So what two shapes could you use? You won't have these in your bag because I don't think you have anything in there to make a circle with. You'll have to draw. So what 2 pieces could you put together and make a circle? Basically, how could you split that circle in half into 2 parts that look the same, okay? Over here, 2 of which shape can make a hexagon. We've done that one together today. Okay, that one should be easy. Number 7, name and draw the shape you will make if you put 2 orange pattern blocks together. Now, yours aren't colored, they're black and white, but you can see what shape this is. So you find 2 of yours that are that shape, put them together with the full sides touching, okay, and you're going to tell me, I made a blank, and write whatever shape you make, and explain how you know that that's the shape that you made, okay? Number 8 says Nicole wants to make a hexagon. She has 1 diamond. Which set of shapes could she use to complete the hexagon? This is a hexagon. She has 1 of these. Could she use this and 2 squares to make a hexagon? Could she use this and 3 more diamonds to make a hexagon? Could she use this? She's always going to have one of those blue ones, okay? So which of these sets can you put with that blue triangle or diamond to make a hexagon shape, okay? When you finish with this page, you're going to upload it to the 3rd page on your student template, okay? You've got 1 page that shows what your math paper looks like, and then you have 2 blank pages after it. This one goes on the 3rd one, the 3rd page, okay? All right, good luck and have fun.